Rafael McMaster, Hermosa Beach's Man of the Year, and there he is, and I'd like to say now a good friend. So, Rafa.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, everyone. First thing I gotta say though is tell you something that most people didn't know, because it happened in the pandemic, and it was quiet, and it was subtle, but it came from the heart, which is that LA25 crew gave the remaining proceeds of what they had during the pandemic when Resin and Indivisible Arts needed it the most. They saved Resin. Resin would not be open without LA25, so you have my loyalty, you have my gratitude. And one more time for PSM for hosting us in their home. The other 364 days of the year, this does not look like a beautiful exhibit gallery. It looks like office agency world, right? Communication arts, so if you are a business, an entrepreneur, an agency, and you need creative services, marketing, communications, PSM is right here. They have hearts of gold, and they're great at what they do. Okay. There is a statistic that nags at me. It wakes me up every single morning, and it hits me, and it inspires me and strengthens my spine at the same time. And it's a statistic from last October 2022, so it's a year ago. Kaiser Family Foundation poll, CNN, finds that 90% of Americans agree, now stop right there. I don't think you can get 90% of Americans to agree on anything, including that the earth is round. So, 90% of Americans agree that we are currently in a mental health crisis. Not that we're heading towards one, that we're in one. It may not seem like it sometimes because it's invisible, because it's in here. It's in here, or the disconnection to here. And if my family or daughter is struggling with something, I'm not telling my neighbors about it. I'm not telling my coworkers about it. We as a family suffer in silence. Maybe this resonates. That's the statistic that makes me go every morning when I wake up, let's go. Let's go. And what we've got going here is something beautiful and special. Just 4 blocks that way, we have Resin, which is our creative headquarters for our 501c3 nonprofit, Indivisible Arts. I'm the founder and executive director of Indivisible Arts, and this is my life path and my life mission, period. We're really focused on teaching 3 things at Indivisible Arts, okay? Creativity, obviously. And at our headquarters, just over there, every day after school, kids can come to do photography, a whole spray paint alley, a music studio, a fashion lab, pottery, what am I missing? 3D VR, digital illustration, woodworking with Jeff, right, who's one of the artists here, painting with Victoria, who's one of the artists here, painting with me. The people that they get to do it with are these other professional artists or the top-notch high schoolers that we've roped in so they can get 501c3 nonprofit volunteer hours because it looks great on a college resume as they teach creativity, consciousness, and connection to other youth. Okay, so the creativity part, that makes sense. The connection part, this right here. Not this, this, right? This has an unmistakable character to it, a quality to it, that please come into Resin during those hours. You'll vibe it. You're like, oh snap. Everybody here is conscious and heart-centered and present. It's kind of a thing. The ways we teach connection are connection to myself through art. Art is the language of the soul. And if I'm doing art, must mean my soul is present. Connection to each other in service. Sense of selflessness. Not thinking about myself. It's a spiritual axiom that I can't help somebody else without helping myself at the same time. And then a connection to a higher power of their own understanding. Connection to the universe, the source, nature, beauty. But the third thing we focus on, really to me, is what this is all about. It's focusing on teaching consciousness. And we teach the Creative Wisdom Tools, a program with 7 tools in it that fuse together to make us a toolkit for emotional resilience, self-betterment and self-mastery, and tools for navigating all of the perils and struggles and strife and stresses and triggers of everyday life. That statistic of 90% of Americans agree, that canary in the coal mine, that tip of the iceberg, we can't help but at least graze that iceberg. We're going to hit some version of that iceberg. I think we may have already hit it. But we know how to build life rafts. And that's what the consciousness and these tools and this support and this community and this connection and the art and the creativity is. Art saves lives. I know it does because I experience it, because I'm the recipient of phone calls from teenagers that say, I don't really think there's a reason for me to be on this planet anymore, to be honest. I don't really care if I'm here anymore. And I watch those conversations transform with the exact same person, exact same kid, till it's 3 months later and they're talking about the music album they're working on, and this kid that they work with that they're super into, they're far from that place. They're totally over here. See it time and time and time again. So not only are we learning how to build life rafts, not only are we building life rafts, but now we figure out how to teach other high schoolers like Declan. Declan, raise your hand. Right? Like Spencer in the back. Spencer, raise your hand. Graduated from high school at 17. Please go to talk to them. Go talk to Spencer about whether or not this program makes a difference in his life, living in the foster care system. We met a year ago, and now, not only did he graduate high school at barely 17, now starting this week, he works for us. Right? This is his 4th day of work. And now next week, he'll be teaching 8, 9, 10-year-olds about awareness, acceptance, intention, gratitude, compassion, forgiveness, connection. So please dig deep into your hearts. Please dig deep into your hearts and find that sense of presence and purpose. Find that sense of generosity of spirit. Connect to this moment of grace and realize, just in this night alone, how many lives like Spencer's or Declan's, or the amount, the list goes on, hundreds. Come see me in the glass room over there. This thing will end, and for the next 90 minutes after that, I'll be in there to answer every single question I possibly can for you. So please keep this moment, the power of purpose, generosity of spirit. And I've heard it said that gratitude is the juice of life. It kind of makes sense, because when I got that juice, yeah, probably I'm feeling really grateful. So if you're feeling really grateful, then Casey, you want to get this going? Let's get this going.
Round of applause for Rafael, everyone. Good job. Thank you. Stay close, my friend. We're ready to do this.
Rafa, I do not want to follow that. Unbelievable, Rafa. So soulful.
I would be remiss